Time for a new Supercard video as the shortcut to Vanguard continues, and the last time you guys saw me, I set out to find a top tier team, a Vanguard team, that would be willing to accept a low tier WrestleMania 35 player such as myself at the time. Something that seemed pretty hard to do, but I reached out to a bunch of teams, and eventually somebody got back to me and was willing to give me a much lower tier player a spot on his top tier team, and that was a man from Revamp Fusions. I was excited, I was happy, because I had just gave myself a big shortcut, a big opportunity to get a Vanguard card while only being in the WrestleMania 35 tier, but to get that card, we'd have to win Team Battleground. This was my first Team Battleground outside of my own team, so the question was, how was the team gonna perform? Because I was ready to go, fully charged up, ready for the attack phase, but were the other members just as ready to go as I was? That's where you're gonna find out right now. Well, I'm happy to report members did charge, but not all of them. So unfortunately, we started off the Team Battleground in a pretty bad position because we had like 3 members who hadn't fully charged, and the opposing team, the German team, man, they had fully charged. They had pretty much charged everything. So things weren't looking too good. The chances of us winning Team Battleground were thrown out the window, but it wasn't all bad. There was still hope. There was still a chance of me getting a Primal card. All we need to do is get 10k points, get that consolation rewards, and I'm getting my first Primal card. It ain't a Vanguard, but it's still a big boost for me. But for that to happen, all the members in the group need to go ahead and use all their attacks, except for this guy, because what the hell are we gonna do with that? But as long as everybody else uses their attacks, we be good. We get a Primal. So it's now up to the rest of the team, but in the meanwhile, individually, it was time for me to get another holiday present card, my 3rd one, and let me tell you right now, I didn't get a Vanguard. Yo, I didn't even get a Primal, but on the plus side, I didn't get a single because I got a 2nd Nightmare Mark Henry. That's right, a pro. So I went ahead, went back to Wild and started training that card so he'd be ready to pro. And while I'm in the Cataclysm tier, I ended up pulling a SummerSlam 19 card. At that point, I'm thinking, what the hell's going on? How did I get this? And then it turns out they've got this +1 tier card pull type of thing going on right now. So I'm thinking, cool, but then going back to the team event, there's less than 45 minutes left for the attack phase to end, and we're less than 400 points away from getting to that 10k. Come on, guys, time's running out. We need those 400 points. And then 27 minutes left. We're now less than 300 points away from 10,000. I go full motivational speaker mode in the chat. Go ahead, come on, guys, let's go. Just a few points away. Use your attacks. We can do this. We can get to 10k. A minute 25 seconds left. We're less than 200 points away. At this point, I'm worried. I'm losing hope here. We likely won't get the gold reward, but then all of a sudden, at the 40-second mark, bam, we get an extra 100 points. We're less than 100 points away from 10,000. Come on. 10 seconds left. Is somebody gonna get those last points? Okay, well, last I saw, we were like 100 points away, even less than 100 points away from 10k. I don't know if anybody went ahead and maybe got some points or was in a match while the timer ran out and then he got the points afterwards. I don't even know if that even counts, but let's check. Did we get 10k or did we finish at 100 point? Oh, we finished at, man, 99 points away from 10,000. So close. But hey, on the positive side, if I wasn't in the team right now, I would not have gotten this reward. So let me go ahead and let me redeem the reward. Let's see what we get. Here's the thing, and here's why I wanted to get to 10k. I mean, it's the difference from getting a Nightmare to Primal, so a possibility of a Primal, to 10k plus guaranteed Primal. That's why I wanted to get to 10k. And on top of that, you possibly get, you know, 2 Nightmares. But anyways, let's go ahead and view the mailbox here. Rewards, there we go. Cancellation rewards. Let's go. Let's hope for that Primal, man. Primal, come on. Let's go. Go. Who is it? Cataclysm. Oh. Okay, hold on a second. Oh, that's a Nightmare. Recognize the logo. Alright, it's a Nightmare card. Nightmare Bobby Roode. So no Primal, but hey, got a Nightmare card. It's a positive. It's gonna move me up a little bit, and yeah. Now the question is, what do I do next when it comes to the team situation? So what you guys just saw was my live reaction to the rewards, but what you guys didn't see in that clip is the actual mailbox. You see, shortly after making that last Supercard video, I got a message from a certain somebody, in the game. Actually, I got a message from a bunch of you guys. I think I replied to all your messages. I might have missed one or two. I'll check back. But anyways, somebody sent me a message that was really important, and that person was Stalker. First thing I'm thinking is, out of all the names, you choose that. Thankfully, he wasn't looking at me through my window, at least not that I know of. Instead, he actually offered me a spot in his Vanguard team. So I told them, alright, I'll keep you in mind. So I thanked them, told them I'd keep that in mind, because why not? Just in case, to have a backup plan. And now after Team Battleground, I had a decision to make. Do I stay in the same team and maybe the next Team Battleground is better? Or do I go ahead and try out another team and see how it goes with this new team? So we talked on Twitter, I eventually made a decision, and I told the leader of Revamp Fusion that, hey man, I'm gonna go ahead and try out this other team, but I do appreciate the opportunity. Without you, I wouldn't have gotten this Nightmare card, so even though we didn't win, I really appreciate you giving me a spot on your team. And by the way, I think after you guys saw that last video, a bunch of you saw who I messaged, and you went ahead to his Twitter and you asked to go ahead and join the team. I actually thought that was funny, but hey, if it benefits you guys and it benefits him and giving him some active members, that's all good. So anyways, I parted ways with Revamp Fusion, had a conversation with the leader. He himself is actually an active player. I just think he got unlucky in recruiting some new members that didn't go ahead and charge, and I told him I'd like to keep contact with him for a reason that I might disclose in a future video. But anyways, I went to the brand new team, and they went ahead and welcomed me by switching up their pictures to Jinder Mahal's. A bunch of modern day Maharajas in one team. And we started a Team Battleground, and once again, I fully charge. I'm ready to go, but the question again is the team ready to go, and are they gonna fully charge? Now, the promising thing is that the opponents are a SummerSlam 19 team, so I'd say the chances of them fully charging are less than a higher tier team, but what's important is for us to fully charge. But I couldn't just sit there and wait for the Team Battleground reward. I gotta keep on progressing on my own. So it was time for me to go ahead and get my 4th holiday present. Here's what happened. Alright, this is the first time I'm actually late on my fusion, a couple hours late on redeeming it, but let's find out what it's gonna be this time. This is my 3rd or 4th one of the two. I think it's my 4th one. Yeah, 4th one, and it's gonna be, okay, Beast card and another Nightmare. It's Nightmare Ted DiBiase. Alright, hey, it's not a Primal or Vanguard, but still something pretty high tier. So then I was like, alright, it's a decent reward, but obviously not the best that I could have gotten, so I need to find other ways to move up. So I actually started to go ahead and work on normal fusions. Why? Because according to the Supercard Leaks Twitter, the new fusions, Nightmare and above, are gonna come out soon. So once the Nightmare and above fusions come out, I'm ready. But in the meanwhile, I've got a lot of training to do, a lot of leveling up to do, and some proing to do. So I went ahead and did just that, and man, does it take a long time to level up these cards in Season 6. Nightmares and above, man, it takes a lot more to max out the levels now than when I last played Supercard. But you gotta do what you gotta do. So after maxing out the Mark Henrys and training them, I went ahead and pro'd him, and then I moved on to Robert Roode, and after leveling him up a bit, it sent me to the SummerSlam 19 tier. So I went out to get my SummerSlam 19 freebie, and it ended up being AJ Styles. Cool card, but I can't touch it because I need to go ahead and level up my Nightmare Pro and my Nightmares. And after spending an eternity in WoW mode to collect some cards to level up these cards, I did just that, maxed out Ted DiBiase, maxed out Robert Roode. I just had to go ahead and max out Mark Henry, and so I did that. I maxed out, I fully trained Robert Roode, same with Ted DiBiase, and then Mark Henry as well, who goes up to level 105. He took the longest, but maxed him out too, so all my cards were maxed out in levels and matches. As far as the tier goes, this is where it ended up at SummerSlam Plus, and look how close I was to the next tier, to the Nightmare tier, and I was like, oh, I'm so close to reaching the Nightmare tier, because it's a big thing for me, because Nightmare, that's the start of Season 6, so I'm like, oh, I gotta get to the Season 6 tiers, and I'm trying to think, what can I do to move up, to get to that Nightmare, to close out that little gap left. And I'm speaking to one of my former Team Deagle teammates on Twitter, and he had mentioned how he went from Primal back to Nightmare because he lost his momentum slots. I'm like, wait a minute, momentum slots, those actually affect the top 8? I've got some momentum slots from playing the Women's Rumble. I have 3 actually, so I went ahead, tried that out. So I went ahead and placed 3 of my cards in momentum slots to get to the Nightmare tier, put them all in, and you know what happened? It barely did anything. I was still in the SummerSlam 19 plus tier. So I was like, damn it, until I get another holiday present or a Primal card or something like that, looks like I'm stuck in SummerSlam plus. So this was so far the lowest jump yet. The Team Battleground situation helped me out by getting me a Nightmare card, but it could have been better, you know, because if we had one, for instance, I would have gotten a Primal to Vanguard, which would have likely placed me in the SummerSlam 19, but still grateful for that Nightmare card. But now, what's the next step in the shortcut to Vanguard? Well, actually, there's 3. Number 1, Holiday Fusion number 5 is coming up. And even if it would be a nightmare, it'd still be a step up from Robert Roode, and it could possibly be a pro. Either one of those would move me up. Number 2, Giants Unleashed. My goal right now with this event is to get that Primal Randy card. Will I be able to get it? I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna try. And then step number 3, the most important one of all at the moment, this team Battleground in this new team, Rex Nation. I'm fully charged, but will they fully charge? We need to go ahead and win this one. That would give me a Primal to Vanguard. Yo guys, quick update. As you can see, I'm in the Nightmare tier now. I don't know how. I went back into the game and all of a sudden, I'm in the Nightmare tier. I didn't change anything. These are the same exact cards, the same ones. They were already maxed out. I don't get this. What happened? Does it take time for the momentum slots to take effect? But hey, I'm in a Nightmare tier now, so it looks like next episode, you guys are gonna see my Nightmare freebie.